2016, Doctor Strange, the MCU. Let's talk about it. Okay, yeah, so here's my third review of the day, my Doctor Strange day, in the lead up to the opening of Multiverse of Madness, which I am looking forward to immensely. More so than what I was looking forward to Spider-Man No Way Home. So anyway, this here, Doctor Strange, this is the 14th film within the MCU. Now this film came out on the 26th of October of 2016 with a 12A rating and a runtime of 1 hour and 55 minutes. The film was given a $165 million budget and went on to gross $678 million at the worldwide box office. So a huge hit for Marvel and the MCU. Yes, this is the days pretty much before everything was hitting $1 billion and that sort of a thing. This is a huge film. It was big. It made the money. They were very happy. And it's taken this long to get a sequel. 6 years. That's a long time. But anyway, so this film came at us directed by Scott Derrickson. With a story from Scott Derrickson, John Spaihts and C. Robert Sergil. Probably butchering that name, but there you go. The film obviously starred Benedict Cumberbatch in the title role of Dr. Stephen Strange, Chiwetel Ejiofor as Mordo, Rachel McAdams as Dr. Christine Palmer. Benedict Wong was cast as Wong himself. Coincidence there. Mads Mikkelsen as Caecilius, with Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, and music by Michael Giacchino. Now, yeah, so this film is obviously a introduction to the character of Doctor Strange. It is an origin story. It very much goes through the same sort of opening as what the animated film did that I reviewed earlier, with the car crash and all this sort of a thing. But the film opens, we're introduced to Caecilius, Mads Mikkelsen's villain, stealing a book from Kamar-Taj, which is where the Ancient One resides, and where all these books are kept, ancient magical books are kept in a library, because he's got this plan to bring Dormammu through from the dark dimension to ours. We're then introduced to Doctor Strange, or Stephen Strange, who's a doctor. He's like a neurosurgeon, very much needing his hands for his work. And this is emphasised by the first scenes that we see him in. Everything is focused on his hands. You watch the first 5 or 6 shots of him and it's all his hands. Yeah, so the film is playing a big part on that. Now, obviously, he's this arrogant kind of an individual who only really wants to operate on people that have something major wrong with them, so that it adds to his his job role, so to speak. So it makes him bigger than what he is, so that he can make more money and this sort of thing. He's not really interested in the little man with problems to him that just seem trivial, but not trivial to other people, obviously. So anyway, so he carries on. He has this car crash, obviously. His hands get ruined. He goes through a time where he's trying to get them fixed, but he's running out of money and all this sort of thing, till he's left with nothing. And then he has to go and find the Ancient One and where they reside, because he's told that he can go there and he can get his hands fixed. Only obviously it's not his hands being fixed. He starts learning about the arts. He hits rock bottom, and it sets up this element of the story whereby you've got this character that is very much rooted in science and medicine, in the tangibility and realness of that, but he has to let go of all that to embrace this magical side of things that is something he doesn't really believe in. So, and this is why he struggles so much in learning the magic and being able to operate it when others around him are able to do it, because he's embedded in this science and this medical and this tangible reality of what can be done. So it takes him his time, but he's a natural at it by the end, and he's flowing through, and the magic just flows. And that's the basis of the story, pretty much. Now, I'm not going to go blow for blow into the story because you've seen the film. You're watching this, you've seen the film. Everyone's seen the film. It's a fantastic movie. What can I say? End of review. No, not really. I'll be honest. When I went into this film, initially, I like Benedict Cumberbatch. I like him a lot, and I love him in this character. He's made the role his own and superb. But he wasn't my first fault for the role. Actually, when they were talking about Doctor Strange, I did actually say that Mads Mikkelsen himself would make, although his accent, he would make a decent Doctor Strange if they were doing it not so light and Marvel fluffy, if it was somewhat darker storyline. Other than that, I thought Timothy Olyphant may have made a decent Doctor Strange as well. He's got the look about him, he could have done it. But I was happy with Benedict Cumberbatch. He's really good, and he's made the role his own. And the fact that we haven't had a Doctor Strange film for 6 years, I mean, you look at it, we had 2016, we had this, now 2022 we're getting the sequel. Between those two films, we have had 3 Spider-Man movies. That's crazy. That is just, that's mental. But anyway, so this film, this you know, I can't knock the acting. The acting's fantastic. The aesthetics within the film are brilliant. You know, when we delve into the other dimensions and this sort of thing, they look fantastic. In 4K, the colours just pop. When Strange is in the Dark Dimension with Dormammu, it looks beautiful. All the warping of reality around them and all this sort of thing when the city's bending, it's second to none. And Marvel films they look fantastic. Let's not get that wrong. They do. They stand out and they look fantastic. Cumberbatch is very likeable as Doctor Strange. Tilda Swinton, I know there was a lot of backlash over her being cast as the Ancient One, that it wasn't someone of Asian heritage, but I'll tell you what, I love Tilda Swinton in this movie. I think that her scenes are just elevate it that much more. She's got such a fantastic on-screen presence as the Ancient One. She's really good, and when she has that return scene in Endgame, just blew me away. Fantastic. So she's very, very good in it. The film does let itself down with its villains, right? You've got Mads Mikkelsen, who's a fantastic actor. He's really watchable. He is really good. But he is completely wasted in this film. He certainly is. You know, that's one of the downers. It could have been anybody in that role pretty much, and you would have got the same out of it, which is very much unfortunate. Another bone of contention with this film is Rachel McAdams. Again, she is very much wasted within the role of Christine Palmer. She hasn't got very much to do in the film whatsoever, which is unfortunate of such a fantastic talent. Benedict Wong as Wong, he's brilliant in the film, and he's one of these characters that has grown in these small snippets that he's had in the latter films to the point that you love it when you see him now. He's really good, so I can't knock that. So, you know, and Chiwetel Ejiofor, he's a very good actor himself. He's very good, and his storyline throughout this and where he ends up at the end is opposing Doctor Strange, and that is very good. And it's taken 6 years to get that conclusions, that storyline in this next film. That's one of these plot threads that have been left hanging for 6 years. But overall, this is a very, very good film. I mean, it's well written, it's well directed, it looks beautiful on screen. At 1 hours and 55 minutes, it doesn't overstay its welcome. I think any longer and it may have caused issue. The film obviously is that sort of Marvel blueprint film. It does feel very similar in vein to the first Iron Man film. You know, and this is a problem Marvel have struggled with historically in the past. Their films are sort of very blueprint. But that being said, it's a very enjoyable film. A Marvel film that I do revisit from time to time and enjoy revisiting. And it is quite high up there as one of my favourite Marvel films. And Doctor Strange himself as a character within the MCU is towards the top of my list of favourite characters. You know, I love that we have seen more of him in the Avengers films. I love that we saw more of him in the latest Spider-Man film. But even more, it's fantastic that finally, we are getting a sequel to this film. Now, Multiverse Madness, I will be watching this weekend, and I will give my review for it once I have watched it. So keep an eye out for that. So what you can do is hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That'll tell you when that comes up. I have got 2 more Doctor Strange related videos coming after this one now. I've got one in 3 hours time and one 3 hours after that, and that gives you 5 videos for today. The first 2 were the 1978 Doctor Strange movie and the 2007 Doctor Strange animated feature from Marvel. Reviews on both, so be sure to go back and check those out as well. So this is AJ, thank you for watching. Just my thoughts on Doctor Strange. Fantastic film, I love it, and I'll see you all later. Take care all, and goodbye.